Hello and welcome to this short presentation. Before we're actually going to start with a DVD presentation, I'd like to share a little bit of my personal testimony because you won't see too much of that in the actual DVD presentation. My name is Carlos Osby and I've been involved in OrganoGold since May 2012. And I can only say it's been the best business decision I've ever made for myself and my family throughout my adult life. Today, my wife and myself, we get to travel the world, we get to meet a lot of like-minded people, and we get to teach and show people how they can live a better life. You know, just going back 2.5 years ago, when my wife and me, we just before we started in OrganoGold, we were living the lives that many people live today. We would wake up in the morning and we'd say good morning, and we would go to bed at night and say good night. And what actually happened was we kind of forgot about one another, forgot about the passion in our marriage. And you see, that is not how I think we should be living. You see, working so hard for someone else or working so hard for yourself but not being able to enjoy the pleasures of life is not really a life that we were meant to live, in my opinion. My wife, she used to have a successful real estate agency, and I used to have a company that was developing applications for mobile devices. We spent 3 million euros in that company. Fortunately, that money was invested, but unfortunately for the investors. I didn't take the big risk in myself in putting all the money in, but I put a big risk in terms of time because it took me almost 5 years to actually get that company off the ground. And before we actually ended up selling the company with not much big profit at all, we ended up having spent a lot of money and spent so many thousands of hours of my life. And my wife, who had a successful real estate agency, even though she was successful, she never had time to do the things that she really wanted to do. When I decided to join OrganoGold, I made a plan. I made a 5-year plan, me and my wife, and we decided that we're going to work this hard and smart for the next 5 years. Because if we do this the right way, we're going to be making money even when we stop working. You see, people, they drink coffee and tea until the day they die. Normally they do if they are consumers of it. And we figured that if we can have people drink our coffee and tea, it doesn't really matter if we choose to retire after a few years, because people, they will still keep on buying the coffee if the coffee is good for them and they love the taste. So you see, we set aside 5 years to build our future. We have just gotten started. We've been 2.5 years into the business. We've got another 2.5 years. And with that, it doesn't mean that we're ever going to be retiring practically from the business, because we really love what we're doing. But it will give us the opportunity to do what we want when we want to do it. If you ever dreamed of more financial freedom in your life, if you ever dreamed of having more time with your loved ones, travel the world, or being able to be debt-free, then this opportunity could be for you. You know, me and my wife, we just bought our own penthouse, been able to pay it cash, and we've been able to travel the world for the last 2.5 years, and we're having the blast and fun of our lives. And I would like to invite you onto the journey that we're actually taking. One thing's for sure, this company is for real. This company is here for the long run. So are we. And with that, I'd like you to put your business hat on just for the next 30 minutes. Look at the presentation that I will be showing you and make a decision, either if it is a yes or a no. But if it is a yes, when you start the business in a serious way. Follow the system. With that, I'll see you on the inside. Hello and welcome to this DVD presentation. My name is Carlos Osby, and I have the distinct honor and privilege to go through with you an opportunity that was introduced to me just a few short years ago. I can only say that my wife, Tina, and myself made a decision to get involved in this business, and it's the best decision we've ever made. Now, what I'd like you to do over the next 20 to 25 minutes is to put on your business hat and leave your emotional hat aside. And based upon the information that I will be giving you today, you should be in a position to make a sound decision if you'd like to become one of our partners, or actually if you'd like to become one of our retail customers. Now, Every company, they would probably say to you when they want to introduce something to you that we have the right business at the right time. Now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to say the same thing, but at the same point in time, I'd like to prove it to you. You see, most people, they consume coffee and tea every single day. And if I ask the question, and why don't I just go ahead and ask you actually watching this presentation the following question, and just answer out loud. If you're sitting in someone's home watching this DVD presentation right now, why don't you just go ahead and play full out with me? All right? Okay. So who in this room actually had let's say a freshly squeezed orange juice this morning? Anybody? If anybody had a freshly squeezed orange juice this morning, please go ahead and raise your hand. All right. Who in this room had a healthy shake, for example? Who in this room had a healthy shake this morning? All right. And who in this room actually had a cup of coffee, tea, or hot chocolate this morning or this afternoon or this evening? Well, you see, that is why I am in this business, because I definitely believe that not just seeing on the slide here, but also making sure that you see that coffee, tea, and hot chocolate is something we drink every single day, and we do it several times per day. And for that means it is definitely the right business. So when you decide to get involved in our company, you get to tap into 4 major industries. The first one is the internet. You see, all the products and services that's available to our distributors and customers worldwide are ordered through the internet. All you got to do is just log on, fill out your order form, and the products will be shipped back home to you. Now let me ask you this question. Did you use the internet yesterday? Did you use the internet today? Now, are you going to use the internet tomorrow? Well, of course you are. So as you can see, the internet is definitely here to stay. The home-based business industry, being able to work from home, is something that a lot of people would love to do. Nowadays, you see that employers, they allow their employees to take 1 or 2 days off from week working from their own home. And it's said that throughout the world, 1 in 10 people have their own business working from home. The health and wellness industry is a $1 trillion industry. And when you decide to become part of our company, you get to tap into that industry because of the herb that is infused in all of our products. And I'll actually be tapping more into that while we get along in the presentation here. And then, of course, getting involved into the coffee industry. You see, a lot of people, they would love to have their own little cafe or coffee shop. But in order to do so, you need to be well funded, because it's going to cost you a lot of money in order to get started opening up your own cafe. You need to have the employees, you need to pay your insurances, you need to have the right location. And of course, you need to buy in all the stocks so that you will be able to sell your products to customers that may come into your shop. Now, when you do become part of our opportunity, you get to tap into all 4 of them at the same time. So why don't we just go ahead and talk about coffee for a moment. You know, in 2011, it was reported that 129 billion worth of coffee was consumed, and that in average 3.3 cups of coffee are consumed every single day in the European coffee market. Same applies for the American market and many other continents around the world. Specialty coffee market is having a growth with 20% each and every year. So you can see for yourself, this is a huge industry. So I can tell you this, coffee is huge business. Is actually the second largest traded commodity in the world after oil and gas. And in 2014, they said that coffee was the highest traded commodity on the stock exchange. So one of the biggest convincing factors for me, I suppose, when I got involved in the business, and which I actually like to ask you to take a close look at, was that CEOs and CFOs and, you know, senior management, they all got together to look at how they could leverage on coffee throughout their businesses. If you take companies such as Starbucks, McDonald's, Burger King, Dunkin' Donuts, Nestle, Subway even, they all have one thing in common, and that is that they actually introduced coffees into their menus. Let's start off with McDonald's, for example. You know, in 2008, when, you know, the world talked about a potential recession and the economy was going bad, McDonald's, they actually sold more coffee than they've ever had before. And for every cup of coffee that they actually would either sell or they would actually give out, because they had campaigns in 2008 where they would actually give out a free cup of coffee to get more sales through their burgers and Happy Meals, etc., they actually just increased their profit margins. Now look at Burger King. They introduced the Ice Mocha. And look at Dunkin' Donuts, for example. Dunkin' Donuts, they changed their logo from being a donut to a cup of coffee. And you can ask yourself the question, why would they actually go ahead and change their logo from a donut to a coffee cup? Well, the thing is this. If you see a coffee bar, if you're thirsty for coffee, you may run across the street to get a cup of coffee. But you normally don't get to run across the other side of the street to get donuts. Now, by them actually having done so, they actually also increased their profits, because people, they would go into Dunkin' Donuts, get a cup of coffee, and while they're there, they maybe just get another 6-pack of donuts as well. Subway, as another example, you know, they didn't really used to open up their Subway restaurants and cafes actually until 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. Whereas now they've opened up early in the morning, because people, they come in, they can get their cup of coffee 6 o'clock in the morning. And while they're there, they bring along a foot-long sandwich that actually they take to work, that they'll actually have as lunch. So, you know, when you consider all of these corporations, and they would probably appeal to you as well as they do to the mass market, you can see that these corporations, they know what they're doing. They are producing billions of dollars or euros every single year, and they're making good money. And because of coffee, they've actually been able to increase their bottom line drastically. So that's, for me, was one of the biggest convincing factors, that other smart people out there, they got involved in the coffee industry while they actually weren't in the coffee industry before. And that's actually what triggered me to say, you know what, if these guys are doing it, they know what they're doing, why don't I just go ahead and do what they're doing, but with a better coffee out there. So now, talking about a better coffee, you see, with OrganoGold, you now have the opportunity to get involved and offer people around the world a better coffee. So talking about a better coffee, OrganoGold have infused Ganoderma lucidum, or in some different countries they would actually refer to it as red reishi mushroom, or even in China they would actually refer to ling chi. Now, you see, I'm not allowed to make any medical claims, but if you would actually go on to Google and you would actually enter Ganoderma lucidum or red reishi or ling chi mushroom, you'll see millions of search results coming up. And you can actually even go in and you can say Ganoderma lucidum plus any illness that you would like to learn more about, and see how it actually may have helped other people around the world. What I can say though is that I've had some fantastic experiences myself, and I'll just share with you my personal experiences since I actually started consuming the products just 2.5 years ago. You see, when I first started drinking the coffee, I didn't actually think that it was the coffee that had helped me reduce some weight. You see, I had just finished a triathlon, and I was sitting down for the next month just in front of my desk and actually not doing that much besides calling up some friends, letting them know about the new business opportunity I was getting involved with in OrganoGold. However, as I was sitting down and I was actually eating a lot, sitting down, not moving around a lot, I would have actually expected that I would have put on weight. But instead, I started to lose weight, and I actually lost 4 kilos within a month consuming the black coffee. Now, what I also noticed was that when I would actually wake up in the morning, I felt extremely energized. My wife, of course, she wanted to try the same thing, because she said, if you're losing weight consuming this product, I'd like to try the same thing. Now, it didn't happen to her. She didn't lose any weight, but she did have one of the other effects that I got. My wife, you see, she had some challenges falling asleep at night, and she would stay awake a long time thinking and not really being able to relax. However, after starting taking the products from OrganoGold, she had a very deep sleep, woke up in the morning and felt extremely energized throughout the day. My wife, she's always been a coffee drinker, and she just loves the product of OrganoGold. And you see, Normally she would get the jitters and she would feel the probably the heart pounding a little bit extra when she would have too many cups of coffee. However, consuming the Organogold products, she's never gotten that feeling ever once. So she's just in love with our products, and of course, so am I. But I want to tell you something. Before I started in Organogold, I didn't consume coffee, nor did I consume tea. Today I do, because I do believe that they have helped me, and of course I love the taste of it. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about Ganoderma, the different benefits that it may have for you, just go ahead and Google it and you'll actually find more information yourself. And of course, you know, taking a closer look at the Ganoderma that we use in Organogold, I can assure you that it is of best quality. As you can see here on the slide, we have different certifications. The general manufacturing practices are good. Of course, we have it's organic, and it is kosher and halal certified, as well as different certifications. And Organogold have partnered with the largest 100% organic Ganoderma facility in Fujian in China, where $240 million were invested to be able to provide you and me with the best organic Ganoderma products available in the world. Now, Organogold have a different range of products. You know, if you don't drink coffee, you may want to drink tea. And if you don't drink tea, you may want to drink chocolate. So we actually cater for different tastes out there and different palates as well, because some of them may be sweet, some of them may not be sweet. And as you can see here, we have different range of products. And depending on what region you're in, we may have some products that you don't have in other regions. But as you can see, for this particular presentation, which is for the European market, we have the latte, we have the black gourmet coffee, we have the mocha, we have hot chocolate, we have green tea, we even have a beautiful red tea, and we have a black tea. We have iced teas for the summer season, and we also have a few other coffees that you'll actually be familiarizing yourself with by talking to the distributor who's actually sharing this DVD with you. And then of course we have the OG Espresso, probably one of my biggest favorites. It was recently launched, and we have them coming in 3 different flavors, uno, due, and tre. And they're all depending on the intensity of the flavor that you'd like to go ahead and try. So you see, I don't know if you may have heard of the gentleman, Mr. Greg Norman, but Greg Norman is known as one of the biggest golf legends throughout golf history. So if you're a golf player, you certainly have heard of him. I'm sure you have. And today he is what is known as our global brand ambassador. Actually talking good about Organogold's product and how actually he enjoys using our products as well. He's also known for having the big brand called the Great White Shark. So I can assure you, Mr. Norman, he probably did not join Organogold for the finances, but he joined us because he loved the concept. He loved the opportunity of being able to help other people around there in the world, and at the same point in time, loving the taste for the product and what it could do for him and his body. It is said that behind every successful product, there's also a successful leadership. And I can assure you that in Organogold, we definitely have a very strong, visionary, powerful, and successful leadership behind us. Now, first of all, Mr. Bernardo Chua, our CEO, visionary, and founder of Organogold, who had the mission of bringing the treasures of the earth to the people of the world, and being so genius of having the Ganoderma lucidum infused into our coffees, teas, and hot chocolate, and allowing people to actually consume coffee, tea, and hot chocolate without having to change their habits, but making sure that their bodies would feel better, is something that Bernardo Chua put together. And today we're open in more than 39 countries around the world, with more countries opening every single year. Behind him, he have co-founder and master distributor, global master distributor, Mr. Shane Moran. And alongside Mr. Holton Boggs, Executive Vice President of International Sales, who was invited along to the team to help lead this company in the right direction. Mr. Holton Boggs is also referred to as the Michael Jordan of the network marketing industry. And I myself, I am extremely privileged and honored to be able to work in such strong partnership with all these three fine gentlemen. You may or you may not have heard of a book that is called Think and Grow Rich. But in 1937, a gentleman by the name Mr. Napoleon Hill, he wrote the book where he studied successful people during the recession time. He studied what some people were doing and becoming successful regardless if times were badly economic or if they were doing well. And what he did, he put together the book, which was the thoughts and ideas of how people around America in the 30s were actually becoming successful no matter what. And the book is called Think and Grow Rich. Now, Napoleon Hill has actually a foundation that has been created with his grandson. And today, OrganoGold have the privilege of being the exclusive collaborative partner with the Napoleon Hill Foundation, where you'll actually be able to see books and audio tapes marked with the brand OrganoGold. That's an extreme high privilege for us in OrganoGold because it's never been done before. So rest assured, you're in hands with a company that is very serious at what they're doing. So, after actually talking a little bit about our products, our opportunity, and actually a little bit about our leadership, that brings me to talking about how we get compensated in OrganoGold. And that's probably 6 times more than what you're used to. Because if you have a normal job, then most likely you get paid once a month, or you get paid once bi-weekly, or maybe even weekly. But most likely you won't get paid in 7 different ways. Now, I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible so that you'll get a grasp of what I am talking about, okay? So the first way we get paid is through what we call retail. In other words, you buy wholesale, you sell retail, and you get to keep the profit. There's 2 different ways of how you can do that. You can buy products for yourself, and you can actually sell it through to your friends or your family, and you collect money from them in their hands, in your own hands. Because some people, they may not feel comfortable of using a credit card on the internet. However, that's kind of past the years, but still you have people that's not comfortable with it, and they'd rather pay cash for it. If you do so, then you'll make money instantly. The other way is that you'll actually have people come to your website. You see, when you become part of OrganoGold, you get your own replicated website, which your customers will see as with products. They will be able to pay with a credit card. They even have support numbers that they can actually call up to support if they have any questions, and they'll be buying it directly from there. If that happens, the money will tick in on your account with OrganoGold, and you will then be paid weekly based on the retail sales that are conducted. Now, you can actually retail our products in different ways. Besides to friends, family, as I mentioned here earlier, you can also maybe do it at stalls. You can even do it through different organizations. Take it the Boy Scouts, or take it the Girl Scouts, or if you talk about different sports organizations for the kids. You know, oftentimes we see that parents, they are willing to support the kids going on a school trip, and they would pay X amount of dollars or euros for some cookies or for some lotteries. Here, they'll be able to do it with a healthier coffee or a healthier tea. So retail is definitely a big part of our business, and it can create some very fast, instant cash to you. The second way we get paid in OrganoGold is through something we call the fast track bonus. Now, again, depending on what location you're around the world, the fast track bonuses may differ. Now, in Europe, you can earn up to 130 euros for every distributor that signs up buying one of our gold packages. Now, you can also earn less money depending on the other packages that's actually introduced to you and that you choose to buy. Now, what I really love about this is that it's no lid on how many people I can introduce to the business that I'd like to do business with. And every time someone new buys a product package, it will give me a compensation of up to 130 euros in the Euro region. Now, before I come to the third way of how we get paid in OrganoGold, I'd like to explain a little bit about how the dual team compensation actually works. Now, you may see on this picture here, this looks like just any corporate structure. On the top, you would have the CEO. Below, you would have vice presidents. And below that, you may have some managers and supervisors. And if you're an employee in a big company, and if you don't have a major position, maybe your position is all the way at the bottom. Now, what's the chances of you being able to get up on the top and taking the position of the CEO? Probably very small, unless you have the right education, you have the right contacts, or you've been with that company for a very long time. Now, what I'd like to explain to you is how we actually work in the dual team plan. In the dual team plan, you will start on the top. You will start as the CEO of your own organization. And you will have a left team and you will have a right team. And you would then be building down through these two teams. You will be introducing coffee drinkers on your left side and you'll be introducing coffee drinkers on your right side. And once you do that, you teach other people to do the same thing. So what that means is that, let's say, just in this specific example, first month, you'll introduce 2 people who drinks coffee. The second month, you will teach them to do exactly what you did, and that becomes 4. In the third month, it becomes 8. In the fourth month, it becomes 16, and so on and so forth. And as you can see, over a period of 1 year, you may be able to get together 4,096 coffee and tea drinkers. I know that is a hypothetical example. However, for me personally, that worked. I was actually ahead of schedule before the 12 months actually hit me. So this definitely works, but I love how this compensation plan works, especially with the dual team, because it allows me to just focus on 2 simple teams, a left and a right team. So the way we get compensated in the dual team plan is based upon the production that your left team and your right team and what they can actually put together. Now, there's a few different levels that you can start with in the dual team. However, you can to actually just give you an advantage, you can actually buy one of our promotional business builder packs. You can start with a bronze, a silver, or a gold. You can also just qualify yourself, but in my opinion, I believe that the best way to actually start this business is to make sure that you start at the right level. Let me just give you an example. We have a corporate ladder just like any corporation would have. And based upon what level you are in the corporate ladder, you would actually earn certain amounts of income. Same thing with OrganoGold. We just call it a few different titles. We have different names for them. So let me just go through with you what they actually work like. The first 3 ones, which is actually a marketing associate, a supervisor, and a consultant, is something that you can qualify for. But as I also mentioned, you can buy yourself into it with a promotional builder package. You can start off with a bronze package, and that will entitle you to earn up to 500 euros on a weekly basis. You can start off with a silver package that will allow you to earn up to 1,500 euros per week. Also, you can start with a gold package, which is the package that I started with, and most of the income earners in OrganoGold, the ones that's actually doing really well, they started with the gold package, or at least they upgraded to a gold package, and that allows them to earn up to $2,500 per week. Now, that's 10,000 euros on a monthly basis. So if you think that sounds like a good income for you, well, then I would advise you to actually start off with the right package that suits you the best. Now, once you actually move up the ladder with OrganoGold, you can become a sapphire. A sapphire allows you to earn up to 5,000 euros per week. When you become a ruby, you can earn up to 10,000 euros per week. And when you become an emerald, 15,000 per week. And when you become a diamond, you can earn up to 20,000 euros per week. Now, that's of course a lot of money. That's a lot of income, especially for someone that's never been able to make that kind of income before. But I'll tell you this, I always say, coffee is big business, so make it your business. All right, so why don't we just go ahead and move over to the next bonuses that we have. But just to just recap, the first bonus, retail, the second, fast track, and the dual team are all paid on a weekly basis. So let's move over to the unilevel bonuses, or the reorder bonuses, if you will. Now, what do you do when you run out of coffee or tea at home? Obviously, you go to the supermarket and you buy more, right? Well, the same thing happens in Organogold. You see, when our customers or our distributors run out of products, they would actually go on the internet and order more products and have it shipped back home to them. And every time that happens throughout your organization, we will pay you a commission for that. And that is referred to as the unit level. Now, we pay in 9 different levels in our compensation plan throughout the unit level plan. And the way it actually works, to make it very simple, let's just say that you introduce 10 people that actually like to join you in the business, and they would then become part of your first level. The company would then be paying you 5% on whatever reorder purchases they would be making in the future. Now, this is calculated on a monthly basis. Now, let's say they would do the same thing on your second level. That would then be 100 people buying coffee on a monthly basis on your second level. And you would also receive 5% of that. If that would repeat itself on the third level, you would then have 1,000 people buying coffee, tea, or hot chocolate on a monthly basis, and the company would even pay you 5% on that. And then it would actually, depending on what rank you have, going up to Sapphire, Ruby, Emerald, Diamonds, and other elite ranks that we have in the company, you would then be compensated accordingly. And this is a bonus that is paid out on a monthly basis. The next way we get paid is what we call the unilevel matching bonus. Now, depending on what level you start with, if you start as a silver distributor, when you get going, you'll actually be paid 10% on your first level of whoever earns money in the unilevel compensation plan that is part of your team. If you start as a gold, it gives you a bigger advantage because it allows you to earn 20% in matching bonus. So this is how it works. So let's say you have 3 people in your organization that's making $1,000 each in unilevel compensation. Based upon that, if you were a gold distributor, you would actually then earn 20% of what they actually earned, each and one of them. It's not something that is being taken off from their commission checks, but it's actually something that the company would be paying you as an additional bonus. And then we have the number 6, which is called the generational leadership bonus. This is probably one of the compensations that I love the most. If you ever wanted to become a leader, if you ever wanted to develop leaders, this is definitely the compensation for you. Because depending on how well you help other people become successful in this business, the company will be paying you in 4 different generations of leadership bonuses. So I can assure you that is probably one of the most powerful ways we get paid in our company. But again, that is for those who would really like to build a big team of leaders. And the last that we get paid on is called the global pool. And that is something that is reserved for anyone that hits the rank of Ruby and above, and the company will then take 3% of all the unilevel volume that actually comes in, and they would give that back to us as the distributors, where they would say 3% of it we would now be paying out to our distributors. And depending on what rank you have, you would then be paid accordingly. Those are the 7 different ways we get paid in Organogold. First one, second, and third one paid on a weekly basis. 4th, 5th, and 6th paid on a monthly basis. And the 7th one are calculated monthly but paid quarterly. Now, besides having a very lucrative compensation plan, which in my opinion is the best out in the industry, Organogold even offers you a car program. It's called the Dream Car Program, a black Mercedes-Benz program. And this is how it works. If you go Sapphire 2 months consecutively, you'll be able to get up to 200 euros towards payment for your car. It could either be a leased car or it could be a car that you buy yourself, and Organogold would actually compensate you 200 euros on a monthly basis. Then you have the next level, which is the Ruby. When you become a Ruby and you're Ruby 2 months consecutively, Organogold will pay you 400 euros every single month for payment towards your car, be it leasing or be it that you've bought the car yourself. Become an Emerald and they'll pay you 600. Become a Diamond and they'll pay you 800 euros that goes towards your car program. It needs to be a black Mercedes-Benz, and it will have Organogold written on the side with it, and it will look like it's beautiful. Now, for those of you who'd like to move up to the next notch you actually have an opportunity to get a sports car as well. If you become a black diamond and above, Organo Gold will give you 2,000 euros towards payment of your dream car. It could be a Lamborghini, it could be a Ferrari, it could be a Porsche, it could be most of the sports cars that's out there. So if you've ever had a dream of having a good looking car, this is your opportunity. So this is the way we're going to get started. First of all, you're going to go ahead and buy a distributor kit. A distributor kit is going to cost you 42 euros plus VAT and shipping. And currently, I believe it is somewhere around 62, 63, 64 euros, depending on what country you live in, because the VAT is different from country to country throughout Europe. If you live in America or other parts of the world, then just check out with the person who invited you to watch this DVD and ask them what the distributor kit price actually is. With the kit, you'll get a few samples, you get a few application forms, you'll even get a replicated website that will be available in several languages, so that you have an opportunity to start offering your business opportunity throughout the world, wherever Organo Gold have its business open to. So now that you've actually gotten your distributor kit, you want to select the package that is right for you. We have 3 different packages that you can start with in Organo Gold, and we call them builder packages, promotional builder packages. The first one is called a bronze. The bronze costs 179 euros plus VAT and shipping to whatever country where you want to have the products delivered to in Europe. Now, the bronze package comes with 8 or 9 different kinds of coffees and teas, and is all assembled in one box. Now, this builder package is probably more suited for people who'd like to buy the products at a wholesale price and would like to continue buying them at wholesale. Then we have the next builder package that is called a silver package. Costs 459 euros plus shipping and handling, and comes with a more variety of products, and actually allows you to earn up to 15% in the dual team commission. It also allows you to earn 10% in matching bonus on your uni level. And then you have the gold package. The gold package is what I mentioned earlier. It's the package that I started with personally. It's the package that most of our top income earners in our company started with. And the reason being is because it is the package that gives you the most value. It costs 1,195 euros plus shipping and handling. And it comes with a variety of products. It even comes with nutraceuticals for those of you who want to try those products. And it gives you the 20% in the matching bonus on bonus number 5 that you may recall that I went through when I talked about the ways we actually got paid. So the gold package will definitely set you up. And what you want to make sure of is that once you get started, you have enough products for yourself, for your family, some products that you can retail, and also some products that you can actually give away to others. You see, the way we do our business is very simple. We believe in giving our products for free, and by sampling our products, we get response from people telling us how they like the taste and how it makes them feel. And then I would actually call them back the next day, a time that would be suitable, and actually get that feedback. That's actually how we build the business. So as you can see, we don't try to sell the product in any aggressive way, because most people, they don't like salespeople. So that's why we give it out. So now that you've made your decision of what package to go with, I have one last thing that I'd like to share with you in this DVD presentation. And that is our company's mission. Our company's mission is to capture 1% of the coffee markets that we actually go into. So in Europe alone, that would actually represent a turnover of 111 million euros on a monthly basis. That would be equivalent to 56 million euros in commissions, because Organo Gold pays up to 50% of everything that comes in out to their distributors. So being able to take part of a 56 million euros commission paid out and shared between the distributors is something I definitely would recommend you taking part in. Also, we'd like to become the most admired corporations worldwide. And you know, it's funny, I just read recently that another company that's not using the same model of distribution that we use, but just within the coffee industry, they actually were named the 5th most admired company in the world. And by actually being the 5th most admired company in the world, just selling coffee over the counter in coffee shops, I definitely believe we in Organo Gold have an opportunity to become the most admired corporation sometime in the future. If you dream of a new car, if you dream of having a new home, if you dream of becoming debt-free, or if you dream of being able to spend more time with your children and your loved ones, being able to be independent and be financially free, if you dream of controlling your own time and not having to have a boss that will tell you when to have lunch and when to have your coffees or when to have your holidays, but you'd like to be in total control of your own life, if that is something that sounds appealing to you, then I would like you to join our team today. There's one thing that's certain, and that is leadership you will not be lacking of in this company. And training you will not be lacking of in this company. At the end of the day, it's just coffee, and coffee is simple to understand. We're not teaching people to get a new habit, but we're actually just allowing people to change their brand of coffee. It's been a privilege for me to share this information with you, and hopefully with information that I have been sharing with you, you'll be able to make a sound decision in becoming part of our team today. And remember, it's easy, it's simple, it's coffee, and I will see you